Tonight on CTV News at 6, the city's plan to chip away at Edmonton's $10 billion maintenance deficit. A reserve fund is being created with money only to be spent on maintaining city infrastructure.
It's something that I often hear about from community members. They want to make sure that we're taking care of all the stuff that we've got, and that's what this fund allows us to do.
Plus, the city of St. Albert is still reeling with the effects of June's record rainfall.
This is a tiger dam. This is some equipment that was borrowed from the province for emergency situations such as this.
And we take a look at how Edmontonians are taking advantage of a hot and sunny summer day.
Went for a 16-kilometer run, and what better way to end it than in the pool?
Another warm one on the way for tomorrow, but we run the risk of seeing some more thunderstorms as we head through tomorrow afternoon and early evening.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Nariman Issa.
Good evening. City Council has a plan to chip away at Edmonton's $10 billion maintenance deficit. It's creating a new reserve fund, paid for with small tax increases, baked into the budget for the foreseeable future. CTV's Jeremy Thompson reports.
Whether it's roads, rec centers, or buses, everything the city owns eventually wears out. A recent analysis found Edmonton is falling behind on maintenance of all kinds. At current spending levels, the city projects it will be $10 billion behind on renewal by 2036.
And so going forward, we do have risks that our overall state of condition of infrastructure is going to start to decline.
Council's solution? Setting up a new reserve fund that can only be spent on maintaining city infrastructure.
It's something that I often hear about from community members. They want to make sure that we're taking care of all the stuff that we've got, and that's what this fund allows us to do.
Edmontonians will pay for the renewal reserve through property tax increases baked into the budget going forward. 0.5% for the first 3 years, 0.75% for the next 3, then 1% every year from 2033 on.
Council back in 2009 started down this path by creating the neighborhood renewal program. We continued it in 2019 when I brought forward the alley renewal program. So we've been showing that there's a need and an importance to have dedicated renewal funds.
City staff project by about mid-century, the renewal reserve will be able to pay for nearly $1 billion worth of maintenance per year, which will only cover about 1/3 of Edmonton's overall renewal needs. Still, Councillor Salvador says they've done the math to show this plan will save money over time.
When we have to go in to do a surprise repair or surprise fix on a piece of infrastructure that is failing, that costs far more than proactively investing in this infrastructure at the outset.
Council has pledged to keep tax increases low by focusing on maintenance rather than new projects when it sets the next 4-year budget this fall. Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
A city councillor's alternative idea for new bike lanes in the Fulton Place neighborhood has been approved. Bike lanes were supposed to be added on 50th Street this month until neighbors complained the new lanes would remove street parking and block their homes. The area's councillor, Ashley Salvador, pitched a different design. It utilizes the road's median and includes protected bike lanes while still providing street parking. The mayor calls the plan a win-win.
Here's a great example of where you can add bike infrastructure, maintain your lanes of traffic, maintain your parking. Why wouldn't we do it? Everyone benefits from, that's the best scenario possible.
Council voted 9-3 in favor of the new plan. The mayor wants City Council to officially endorse Alberta and Edmonton to remain a part of Canada. Andrew Knack is putting forward a motion titled, Edmonton and Alberta are a vital part of Canada. He says he wants to send a clear message from City Hall and ensure Edmontonians who support federation don't become complacent. Knack says no matter what people's feelings are around the referendum, if they support Alberta remaining in Canada, they must get out and vote in October.
Any conversation about us separating from this country is actually harmful to the vast majority of people that we serve here, and therefore we need to speak up. We need to encourage people to be active in this conversation because at the end of the day, the worst thing that we can do is sort of sit idly back.
He says he wishes the motion was not necessary, but that council needs to be clear on where it stands. The City of St. Albert says it's still dealing with complications from the area's record rainfall from last month. The Sturgeon River has spilled its banks and is threatening homes and businesses. The city is receiving help from the province. CTV's Noah Rashog reports.
St. Albert's Sturgeon River has run its banks. It's about 3 meters higher than it should be. At the Meadowview Ballpark, 2 of their 4 diamonds are underwater. It's getting ready to host a major tournament this weekend.
Coincidentally, we hired a new scheduler this year, and it's supposed to be a fairly relaxed job, and it's been anything but that, as we've had to reschedule hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of games and figure out how to shrink seasons and add time slots and shorten games. And
further up the Sturgeon River, some parks are entirely underwater. In downtown St. Albert, just across the river on Perrin Street, you can see the Sturgeon River starting to blow its banks to come up onto this pathway here. You can also see that the city of St. Albert has been putting preventative measures and blockades to stop the water from rising into these nearby apartments. The city of St. Albert got these barricades from the province.
Here, this is a tiger dam. This is some equipment that was borrowed from the province for emergency situations such as this. And yeah, it's basically it's a long tube that's inflated with river water to provide a dam barrier from the river itself. So we're using the river against itself in some respects. So
even further up the river, External Affairs Medical Spa is still recovering from damage earlier in the summer. The building is under repair following sewage overrun, and now their perimeter is barricaded off to hold back the rising river.
We're at kind of a fun place where I've got water coming up from inside of the berm and water slowly rising on the other side of the berm. So
those near the river will be keeping an eye out until it's back to normal levels, leery about more wet weather in the forecast. Noel Rashog, CTV News, St. Albert.
The future of a farm north of Edmonton that thousands rely on for organic produce is uncertain. The farm is dealing with its second major loss because of rain in 5 years. As CTV's Amanda Anderson reports, June's record rain wiped out most of its crop.
Here we have a crop of cilantro that, a week ago it was green.
It's hard for Jenny Birkenbosch to look at the damaged crops on her family's farm.
It's devastating, actually. It's hard. It's our livelihood, and it's our passion project.
After flooding wiped out Sundog Organic Farms crops in 2020, they implemented soil systems in an effort to make the farm more resilient to extreme weather, including crop cover.
It could hold any sort of extra rainfall like a sponge, and in times of drought, also be resilient because, like a sponge, it could hold moisture longer.
This is what the spinach crop looked like around the last week of June. She says they dug trenches and aerated the soil around the farm to help the plants recover. Then the next round of heavy rain hit.
Like my husband said, while it was happening, we were just sitting on the couch holding hands. He was like, well, that's the nail in the coffin.
The majority of its crops now lost.
I know that we're just a small farm, but we grow a lot of food here.
We don't realize how much effort it takes to grow food.
A crop science professor at the University of Alberta says organic farms face different challenges.
Because they can't rely on, synthetic fertilizer, for example. And they usually operate in smaller farms. And if they are growing some horticultural crops, which might be more sensitive to this extra moisture.
He'd like to see more financial support for organic farmers and research on how to mitigate weather. But for this farm, thousands in our region turn to for organic produce. It may be too late.
I can't clear-headedly answer that question right now because I still think that my husband and I are in a state of fight or flight.
They've had to let employees go and started a GoFundMe to help keep the farm afloat for now.
But we feel very lifted up by our community.
Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Sturgeon County.
An Edmonton councillor says a makeshift road into the Millwoods golf course will remain there until the end of the month. Now, last month's heavy rainfall caused the Mill Creek Ravine to flow over its banks, covering the original road with water. EPCOR blocked off that road to the golf course and made a makeshift road to be built out of rig mats with a new entrance off of 50th Street. Karen Tang says while no structural issues were found, the water remains high. The new road will remain in place until August, at which that time it will be reevaluated. While the effects of the rain are clearly still being felt, today the clouds parted for plenty of sunshine. Many Edmontonians are taking advantage and getting outside. And outside is where we find our Miriam Valdez-Carletti. She is live down at the riverfront. And Miriam, what are some of the people getting up to now?
Well, Nairman, the warm weather is very welcome, especially for people looking to get active, and it is quite hot, so many people are looking to spend time near the water, whether that's riding on a bike or splashing into the pool. The pool at Kinsman Park was a splash for dozens of Edmontonians, having waited weeks for this moment.
It's really good, honestly. Like, I've been really missing it. We just got back from a trip, so it's nice to get some good weather.
It feels really nice because it's been very cold out for a while.
The stretch of heavy rain makes today's sunshine that much more special. The Queen Elizabeth outdoor pool saw people lined up, ready to cool down.
Well, went for a 16-kilometer run, and what better way to end it than in the pool? You just got to take advantage of the good days.
And families grateful for some fresh air and dry ground for a tasty picnic.
It's awesome. We like to be outside and we like to have fun at the water park. It's good to get out of the house.
Down by the riverfront, things are picking up speed for River Valley Adventure, a constant flow of people renting bikes.
We were happy to see a lot of our regulars back in here. We get a lot of people out of province as well and out of country. We had some people pick up some bikes from the Netherlands today as well.
The rental business has bikes, tandems, and more. The rainy weather has deterred some people from coming down.
We're generally excited about the change, but yeah, definitely saw a little bit of drop off in traffic there from what we normally experience.
The sunshine is brightening things up.
We have a really big, busy cafe, Riverfront Cafe, in the summer in general, so we know it's going to be complete insanity over the next little weeks, but we're all excited.
While there is some rain in the forecast, Edmontonians can take advantage of the long summer days. The bike rental shop plans to open until 10 p.m. on weekday nights whenever it can. Nearman.
All right, thank you. That's Miriam Valdez-Carletti reporting live for us tonight. Now, first check on the weather. And Josh, it was a beautiful day. I managed to get out at lunch, taking a little bit of that sun. What can we expect for the rest of the week?
Well, it's not going to be as hot as today. And today, I mean, you know June was cool when 27 degrees and everybody's going, oh, it's hot outside. It was the warmest day since late May, though. A couple of 30-degree days late May. Nothing in June warmer than 26. Take a look at current temperatures around the Edmonton area. We're still at 27 degrees. 26s north, south of the city. A little breezy, especially earlier in the day today. Had some gusts to about 40 kilometers per hour in town. There's still some gusts for areas just south of the city. 23 is the average daytime high, so 4 degrees warmer than average, and we started the day at 14 degrees. There's the clear skies that most of the province got to enjoy today. Had a little bit of cloud cover and even some scattered showers in parts of northeastern Alberta. See that area of low pressure, those clouds and showers? There are some thunderstorms as well up in northwestern parts of the province. Now, there's now a severe thunderstorm watch that's flashing because it's just been issued for the Peace River, Grand Prairie areas. Severe thunderstorm warning on the BC side of things. If you take a look at the radar map, though, there is only one little cell there southwest of Grand Prairie that has developed so far. So that's going to get, it's not imminent, but that's going to start to get going here as the evening goes on. It'll be a dry evening for us here in Edmonton, though. 23 degrees, maybe even 24 at 9 o'clock tonight. 17 tomorrow morning, and then turning gusty tomorrow afternoon. Chance of thunderstorms around supper time and early in the evening. We'll talk a little bit more about that in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. What's still ahead? Projected growth in oil and gas.
We're seeing a lot of great news out of Canada and its desire to invest in projects and growth.
An optimistic outlook for the industry despite global instability. Also,
so it's really hard now to figure out or identify forged prescriptions from the first look.
Alberta pharmacists say scammers are now using artificial intelligence to try and forge prescriptions. Details next.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
A Deloitte forecast shows Alberta's energy sector is in a position to grow. It's predicting increased production supported by planned pipeline expansion and says with geopolitical uncertainty in the Middle East, Canada is in a favorable position. CTV's Tyler Barrow has more.
Alberta's energy sector is on strong footing. In a report from Deloitte highlighting Canada's record-setting exporting levels, there is room for expansion.
We might see a growth mandate for the next decade, and the recognition that Canada is blessed with a lot of resources and a lot of energy.
The report says global energy markets remain unsettled due to geopolitical conflicts, but Alberta's oil industry has been resilient. The Deloitte report forecasts added export capacity of up to 800,000 barrels per day by 2030, much of which could be en route to Asian and European markets.
I think we're just going to see a little bit of a shift in the next 5 years of maybe not everything is going to come from the Middle East.
According to the study, WTI prices will average $80 US this year before bouncing between $65 and $75 a barrel for a 6-year period starting next year. According to one oil and gas expert, oil prices can now be relatively low and still produce profits in the oil sands.
Price deck that would allow them to continue to grow and fill up the Trans Mountain, Enbridge, South Bow, and eventually the 1 million barrel a day pipeline if these things can be brought in.
The report comes on the heels of the West Coast Pipeline and Northern Shield announcements. The Pipeline Contractors Association of Canada is responsible for 90% of the pipeline infrastructure in the country and represents about 10,000 workers.
Union training centers are excited. Of course, the traditional pipeline workers, new entrants into the field, they're excited because there's going to be another 10-year run of pipe.
The report is expecting liquefied natural gas export growth in North America. Still, one Calgary-based natural gas company is looking to capitalize on foreign deposits. Robinson Energy is developing in Papua New Guinea, looking to capture a share of the Asian market. Its CEO cites political issues in Canada, making it difficult to operate here.
Part of the reason why we've chosen to essentially take Canadian technology and methodologies and apply it to, a jurisdiction where we're not hamstrung with those.
Tyler Barrow, CTV News, Calgary.
Alberta pharmacies are warning of a rise in prescription forgeries, with fraudsters using more sophisticated methods to get their hands on controlled medications. The Alberta College of Pharmacy says 132 attempted prescription forgeries have been reported in the first 6 months of the year. That's nearly as many as all of 2025. Pharmacists say the fraud is becoming harder to detect. Suspects are using AI to fax prescriptions that can look identical to the real thing.
They are even good now in tailoring the prescription to conditions. So it's really hard now to figure out or identify forged prescriptions from the first look.
Pharmacists are also raising concerns about the new driver's licenses. They say including healthcare numbers could create more privacy risks and make impersonation easier. And the province is warning about scam text messages about your Alberta health card. Fraudulent messages falsely claim physical health cards are becoming obsolete and that people need to transition to electronic cards. Now, those messages are scams and people should not click on any links. The province says it will never send unsolicited text messages asking for personal or financial information. Anyone who receives the message should delete it and report it as spam. Well, still ahead, a collection decades in the making, up for sale.
Whoever buys this place needs to share that passion.
An antique store south of Edmonton looking to pass on its treasure trove to the right buyer. We'll have those details next.
A beautiful evening in the Edmonton area tonight, although we do have those severe thunderstorm watches in northwestern Alberta, and tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, we'll probably see a lot of severe thunderstorm watches and warnings in central and eastern parts of the province. Those details after the break.
Programming brought to you by Century Casino. 3 great locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile. Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
A pair of collectors turned antique store owners are ready to part with their entire collection that's taken them years to accumulate. They are hoping to find a buyer for their entire store who's able to form a connection with the community. CTV's Curtis Goodrum has more from Kalmar.
50 kilometers south of Edmonton, on the main street of Kalmar, sits yesterday's treasure. An antique store with thousands of items.
This is one of my favorite stores.
The best store in Kalmar?
Yes, it is.
It began 8 years ago, after the owners emptied their house.
We had been passionate collectors for so many years. We had a house full of treasure, and we didn't ever sell anything.
The store is a treasure hunt of sorts, with items ranging from anvils to magazines and toys like this Raggedy Ann doll. The owners say their favorite part is unlocking memories.
It's when you walk around, you see an artifact that you remember from your childhood, from Grandma's house or your auntie's house, and you're immediately drawn back to that feeling you had.
A lot of the stuff that we sell in the store today was sold 70, 80 years ago in this very store.
While their passion for antiques remains, the owners are selling the store, lock, stock, and barrel, so they can focus on other projects. Aside from the asking price of $500,000, the next owner will have to meet one key requirement.
Whoever buys this place needs to share that passion, and honestly, we feel that that is a criteria because this place will not succeed.
The owners say the store provides a space for the community.
It's about enjoying the quality of life that comes with the community that's based in relationships.
We love what we've brought to the community with it. We love that we've involved the community in it as well.
The owners hope yesterday's treasure will become someone else's treasure tomorrow. Curtis Goodrum, CTV News, Kalmar.
All right, weather time. You know what? You want to take advantage of the warm weather. Do it tonight, maybe possibly tomorrow. If you miss the showers, good news.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty hit and miss. So there's a chance that these showers and thunderstorms skip past your neighborhood. We'll show you the futurecast in a second. Nobody in Edmonton is getting wet tonight, though. There's the River Valley Skycam. 26 degrees in Edmonton after hitting 27 for a daytime high earlier today. 26 in Fort McMurray, 27, 28-degree daytime highs in the northwest. Jasper, 30 degrees this afternoon. It'll be considerably cooler across most of the province tomorrow. There's a little bit of a cool down on the way over the next couple of days. There's your severe thunderstorm watch for the areas in yellow, which includes Grand Prairie, Peace River. Here's your severe thunderstorm warning in red. You can see there's one little cell that's popped up southwest of Grand Prairie. This is going to get a lot more active here in through this area before the evening is done. It's all being shoved in out ahead of that area of low pressure. So showers, thunderstorms, possibility for some isolated severe thunderstorms before tonight is done. I think the biggest risks are going to be some isolated pockets of heavy rain and possibly some sizable hail. Not as large as the hail that we might see, though, tomorrow in parts of central and southeastern Alberta. Watch how this starts to get going sort of midday. This is tomorrow morning. Peace River down through to Jasper, chances some showers. There's the afternoon hours. Showers and thunderstorms starting to bubble up off to the west and northwest of Edmonton. Pretty good chance for some thunderstorms here in the northeast as well. And I think some of those have the potential to turn severe. Downpours as well as some hail, possibly sizable hail. This is really sort of Edmonton off to the southeast that has the best chance of seeing some severe storms, though. And you'll notice a lot of that area is going to get missed. These are going to be really hit and miss. But where those storms do pop up, you're going to hit pretty hard. Potential for some heavy rain. Wind gusts on the outer edges, so some of those storms could be upwards of 100 kilometers per hour. And you can't rule out the possibility for 1 or 2 tornadoes potentially in through parts of southeastern and east central Alberta. So keep an eye on any severe weather alerts through the course of the day tomorrow. I wouldn't start freaking out about it right now, though. There's your mix of sun and cloud for Thursday morning, and then south of this low pressure system, another chance late Thursday for some scattered showers and thunderstorms. So you're going to see a lot of rain icons in the 5-day forecast. It's not going to be heavy, steady rain all day. It's going to be scattered, hit and miss showers and thunderstorms. Temperatures in the mid to high 20s across most of the province right now. It's still a little gusty in through the Red Deer region to about 40 kilometers per hour. Gusts back up to 35 in Edmonton. We'll see those gusts stick around into the mid-evening hours. Wind dies down overnight and then comes back tomorrow. Temperatures a degree or two cooler than what we saw today. 21 on the way for Thursday, and then more low 20s Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Each and every day, a chance of some scattered showers or thunderstorms. If you want to win big this summer, go to ctvedmonton.ca, click on the contests page, and you can buy your tickets in the Mega Summer 50-50, supporting the Bears Children's Fund and the Kaleo Collective. There's your long-range forecast. Give you a little bit of hope. Some longer stretches of dry weather and some heat on the way for next week.
Thank you, Josh. Well, still to come on CTV News, changes are coming to how senators are appointed.
Well, on the one hand, the Prime Minister gets to say that he's nonpartisan. On the other hand, creating an opening in Chicoutimi Fjord creates a situation where the Liberals can win another seat.
We get reaction, including what this means for one of Alberta's referendum questions set for this fall. Also,
we hope it's going to have a massive positive impact on communities, not only here in LA, but throughout the world and in Canada.
A gang leader already behind bars overseas is now charged with ordering an assassination in Canada. Prime Minister Mark Carney is changing the way senators will be appointed going forward. Now, Premier Danielle Smith's office says these changes still do not address systemic issues in the process. While announcing the country's newest senators, Prime Minister Mark Carney also revealed he is dropping the nonpartisan criteria for appointments. Carney says in the coming days he will also establish an advisory board to help identify candidates. Today's appointments include a Conservative MP and a senior Liberal strategist. Now, in the fall, Albertans will vote on whether they support Alberta working with other provinces to try to abolish the federal Senate. The Premier's office says the question will proceed as planned and says Alberta is still unfairly represented in the Senate. Now, with more, here's CTV's Rachel Aiello.
Prime Minister Mark Carney performed a political balancing act today, appointing a prominent Liberal insider and his principal secretary, Tom Pitfield, to the Senate, at the same time as he poached Conservative MP Richard Martel, who has ditched his seat on Pierre Poilievre's side of the House to join the upper chamber.
For Mr. Poilievre, this stings. He has lost 5 caucus members from the House of Commons since the general election.
Both men will represent Quebec, and NATO seat projections show Martel's riding would be a coin toss in a by-election.
Well, on the one hand, the Prime Minister gets to say that he's nonpartisan. On the other hand, creating an opening in Chicoutimi Fjord creates a situation where the Liberals can win another seat.
In addition to Pitfield and Martel, Carney also appointed Atlantic Cancer Research Institute founder Dr. Rodney Ouellette to represent New Brunswick, and accountant and corporate executive Gita Tucker to represent Manitoba. Carney is also changing the process for future potential appointees, doing away with the non-partisanship criteria imposed by former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau.
Carney is saying, you know what? It is politics, man. It's a partisan body.
A new Senate advisory board will be appointed in the coming days, asked to identify qualified candidates with expertise in specific sectors.
I think with a thin majority that Mark Carney has, he probably wants to try to create an environment in the Senate which is easier for him to pass legislation.
Once these 4 appointments are confirmed, there will still be 6 remaining vacancies in the Senate, and 5 more are anticipated before the end of the year. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
A gang leader already behind bars overseas is now charged with ordering an assassination in Canada. It's part of a wider international policing operation leading to dozens of arrests. CTV's Adrian Gobriel has more.
Dubbed Operation Hardball, the 24 people arrested have been charged with a litany of criminal offences, including the murder of Canadian Sikh activist Hardeep Singh Nijjar in 2023 in British Columbia. Nijjar was assassinated outside of a Gurdwara in Surrey, BC. Police in Los Angeles today allege that Lawrence Bishnoi, a gangster who is in prison in India, and his alleged Lieutenant Satinderjeet Singh, also known as Goldie Brar, ordered the killing. The indictment against a total of 37 suspects claims that such high-profile crimes were used to terrorize and extort Indians living in Canada and the United States.
We hope it's going to have a massive positive impact on communities, not only here in LA, but throughout the world and in Canada.
The investigation also claims that in November 2023, Bishnoi claimed responsibility for a separate shooting that occurred at the Vancouver home of a prominent Indian actor and singer, warning in Punjabi in a Facebook post that no one can save you from us.
3 of the suspects were arrested right here in Canada. Prosecutors believe 10 others are currently on the run in the United States, India, and Europe. Adrian Gobriel, CTV News, Toronto.
BC's government is preparing legal action against artificial intelligence company OpenAI for its alleged role in the Tumbler Ridge mass shooting.
We will use the courts to pursue accountability and ensure that British Columbians are not left bearing the costs of corporate wrongdoings. The events of February 10th will forever remain a dark chapter in our province's history. Nothing can undo what happened, but the steps I'm outlining today are about seeking accountability and justice.
The shooting left 9 dead, including the shooter, 18-year-old Jesse Van Rootselaar. Van Rootselaar had the GPT account suspended last year. Now, the company considered notifying police about concerning interactions that violated its policies, but ultimately chose not to do so. CEO Sam Altman issued an apology letter to the community in April. The company's already facing several lawsuits related to the shooting. Mark Carney is among the leaders in Turkey attending a major 2-day NATO summit with military spending targets and the war in Ukraine among the key issues. Now, for our Prime Minister, he was busy talking trade with the other leaders while keeping an eye on Donald Trump. CTV's Graham Richardson is in Ankara with more.
The biggest issue here at NATO, especially for European allies, is the war in Ukraine. Russia bombing Kyiv the day before Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky arrived here in Turkey. He met with Prime Minister Mark Carney today. Reports say 30 people died during the attack.
This barbarism of Putin, which continues in recent days, will not succeed.
That, coupled with U.S. President Donald Trump's anger with the alliance over a perceived lack of support for the American-Israeli war with Iran. Into this tense atmosphere, Canada trying to tell a positive story. It's getting help from the head of NATO. Today, the alliance confirming it will negotiate with Saab to buy more GlobalEye planes in what could be a lucrative partnership with Bombardier in Montreal.
This will ensure we keep NATO's owned and operated surveillance and early warning capability strong and credible for decades to come.
Canadian officials are quick to counter the tension with their new spending, like Monday's announcement on subs and how they're deepening connections with NATO allies.
It means that we can each share crews, for example, on the submarines.
The consensus is Canada is in a much better position here than even a few months ago.
Remember that just a few summits ago, it was a question of reaching 2% of GDP in terms of defense spending. We've achieved that now.
That may be true, but again today, government officials would not say specifically how much all of this military spending will cost. Again today, the defense minister said that the submarine contract will grow the economy. Usually when you spend like this, you have 3 options: hike taxes, cut programs, or take on more debt. Graham Richardson, CTV News, Ankara.
Evacuation orders were issued in a part of New York City after support beams buckled inside a high-rise under construction.
Check it out.
As video shows where workers found the buckled beams on the 21st floor. Multiple cracks and sagging floors were also discovered. The building and several others nearby, including a school, were evacuated while streets in the surrounding area were blocked off. The building is the former Pfizer headquarters and is currently being converted into housing. It's meant to be the largest office-to-housing conversion in New York City's history. The International Olympic Committee is provisionally lifting its ban on the Russian Olympic Committee, clearing the way for Russian athletes to return to international competitions.
We wanted to ensure all athletes have the possibility to compete at the Olympic Games and not be held responsible for their government's actions.
The IOC says the Russian Olympic Committee is no longer incorporating regional sports organizations in Russian-occupied parts of Ukraine. Russian athletes competed as neutrals at the 2024 Paris Olympics and the 2026 Milano Cortina Winter Games. There has been no decision on whether Russia can display its flag, colors, or anthem. Still ahead, permanently off the air.
Certainly a huge loss, but it is indeed not a very good day at all for radio.
Rogers shuts down sports and news radio stations across Canada, including in Alberta. Also next.
I don't think we're going to see people lining up to see AI movies because they don't feel real.
The creators of the so-called first AI actor says she's ready for her film debut.
Programming brought to you by K-Days. The best 10 days of summer are back.
Taking a look at today's markets, the Canadian dollar is up 1/10 cent. Oil is up $1.89, trading around $70 US a barrel. Gold lost a little over $10 on the day. On the stock market, the TSX gained 60 points and the Dow Jones lost 130 points on the day. Rogers Media is shutting down radio stations across Canada, including some long-standing shows in Alberta. Calgary 660 News and Sportsnet 960 went silent today. Rogers Sports and Media says the closures are a result of a declining audience and revenue trends. Rogers shuttered 6 stations in 4 markets, leading to 230 layoffs nationwide. Rogers owns Sportsnet and says it will no longer produce Calgary Flames, Hitmen, or Wranglers radio broadcasts. The Flames say they were blindsided by the decision. The organization has no current plan for radio broadcasts for its 3 teams. Now, former play-by-play man Peter Marr says he's devastated for his ex-colleagues and the people who worked at the stations.
Certainly a huge loss, but it is indeed not a very good day at all for radio, and something that really stings with me, given my history working with the 960 and all of the people that worked there over the years.
The layoffs come one day after Rogers agreed to purchase the remaining 25% stake in Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment for more than $4 billion. A United Kingdom studio says it will produce a feature film starring an artificial intelligence actress it created. The creation of Tilly Norwood has ruffled feathers in Hollywood, with human actors and unions pushing back on the use of AI actors. CTV's John Valley Rao reports.
Hi, I'm Tilly Norwood, the world's first AI actor.
Ever since she was created last year, she has courted controversy.
I know you all say I'm not real, but who cares?
An AI-generated actor that's generated a lot of concern in Hollywood. And now the British company behind Tilly Norwood says she'll star in a full-length feature film.
I totally understand where people are coming from and thinking that it's really scary and thinking that it shouldn't happen.
Tilly Norwood, 100% AI generated.
The movie is slated to be called Misaligned and tells the story of Tilly trying to be more human. It's billed as a hybrid production, human film and TV pros directing, writing, and editing alongside AI specialists.
It's going to be a fun comedy that's going to showcase where the tech's at.
Tilly was in part created by Dutch comedian Eline van der Velden, and the character hasn't exactly been embraced by Hollywood stars.
I do think that AI should only be to aid the journey, not to replace actors, because we want to feel that human emotion.
AI was a big part of the actors' strike 3 years ago, with the union pushing for more protections from it. Still, AI in entertainment is becoming more common. The upcoming film, As Deep as the Grave, features an AI-generated performance from the late Val Kilmer.
I don't think we're going to see people lining up to see AI movies because they don't feel real. Their eyes don't look real. There's a lot of things that have to be perfected yet.
Still, Tilly's creators have compared what they're doing to traditional animation and CGI and say Tilly is a piece of art that's sparking conversations. John Valley Rao, CTV News, Toronto.
Prince Harry and 6 other high-profile British figures have lost privacy lawsuits against the publisher British tabloid The Daily Mail. A London judge found the Duke of Sussex failed to prove his privacy invasion claims against the publisher. The ruling brings an end to a lawsuit filed by Prince Harry and 6 other claimants, including Elton John and Elizabeth Hurley. The publisher called the ruling an overwhelming victory. The case was the third and final of Prince Harry's lawsuits, accusing British tabloids of using unlawful tactics to snoop on his private life. Well, coming up, experimental music making waves in Ice District.
There also is something that's super catchy and rhythmic and groovy and theatrical and freaky to them.
A taste of the virtual duo so in demand, they added a second show. Stay with us.
We've got another great night of entertainment coming up right here on CTV.
Well, two Edmontonians are hoping to race their way to the finish line in tonight's debut of the Amazing Race Canada. Shayla Rain and Cheyenne Marie Sage are Cree and Métis sisters. The pair were raised in Edmonton on Treaty 6 territory. Shayla is a local mom and Cheyenne is a best-selling author. The sisters say they hope to show Canada what Indigenous women are made of.
The fact that you're even chosen and you run the race is a massive thing. Like, we're doing things that most Canadians and most other people could never even do. So to be among those other people is really just a big honor, and we just really hope that we make them proud.
And season 12 of Amazing Race Canada starts right after this broadcast here on CTV and airs tomorrow on Crave. Well, the Riverhawks welcome to the Nanaimo Night Owls at Remax Field for a special afternoon matinee. Now, it had a corporate Olympics theme dedicated to those working in the office. So fans were invited to enjoy an afternoon of baseball and entertainment away from the cubicles and the fluorescent lighting.
Oh my God, it's the best. Like, it's the most fun you can have. It, like, family fun, good, like, cheap nights to go to, cheap afternoons. It's the best time in Edmonton.
Sunshine, good friends, good people. We're all good.
Now, the Riverhawks did wind up losing this one 12-4. They'll play again in Nanaimo tomorrow at their usual time, 7 p.m. Other upcoming themed nights include Star Wars Night, Euro Summer Vacay, and Margaritaville Beach Party. Well, a viral music duo from Quebec is bringing their sound to Ice District tonight. The French duo Angine de Poitrine is performing in Fan Park. Due to popular demand, the group is playing two shows, one tonight and another tomorrow. They're known for being anonymous in oversized papier-mâché masks and polka-dotted costumes. The pair gained attention online for blending math rock with an experimental sound.
I've heard a lot of people online or read people online saying it has to do with, a real hunger for real complex human kind of sound and art right now among all the kind of fake music, AI music, over marketed music. But there also is something that's super catchy and rhythmic and groovy and theatrical and freaky to them. So I can see what draws people in that way.
And there are still some tickets available for tomorrow night's show. Math rock, probably. Math's not my favorite subject.
No.
Stick with the rock music, not the math part.
Be a nice night tonight to get outside. Tomorrow evening, well, once you get past about 8, 9 o'clock, I think the chance of storms is going to be off to the east and southeast of the Edmonton area. But through the afternoon hours and around supper time, chance for some thunderstorms, possibly a severe thunderstorm in the area. We'll see how things play out tomorrow. Get to about 25 or 26 for a daytime high. Low 20s for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then the warm up for next week. Looks pretty dry for next week as well. Lots of sunshine in mid to high 20s.
Get over the next few days and you saw that really nice temperatures. All right, that's all the time we have for tonight. Thank you for watching. Good night.